Hey everybody, and welcome back to Emerald Coast. We have made it all the way to late autumn, and we are in a bit of a pickle. We've got corn and soybeans to bring in. Our corn did not come ready. It's just never dried out enough in the field for us to get that corn up in mid-autumn. So we have basically had to kind of get ready to fire on all cylinders here in late autumn. So we need to bring in not only the soybeans, but the corn. And, well, the weather is not really wanting to cooperate with us. We've got rain in the forecast for today. It doesn't show yet, but they were calling for rain today. We got rain in the forecast for Thursday and Friday. So we've got 3 out of 4 days of rain. So, we are basically going to need to try to get our, we've got both harvesters running. We're going to need to try to get everything in as quick as we can, because we don't know how long rain is going to basically hold us off. Looks like it might not rain until this afternoon or this evening. Then we've got, don't know if the rain tomorrow is going to rain in the morning or if it's going to rain in the evening, and if we're ever going to get a dry crop condition between now and Saturday, quite frankly. So we may have a day and a half of harvesting. We may actually have a day of harvesting between today and Saturday to get this stuff in. So we've got both of our harvesters working on our soybean fields currently. Dwayne here is on field 9, and Betty is over there on field 18. Got another one of our helpers sitting over there with the gravity wagon, waiting to unload her when she needs to be unloaded. And we're over here with our truck, basically ready to unload Dwayne whenever he needs it. And well, you can see, take a look at our money. The upgrades we did kind of sapped our money down here. Plus, we've bought 60 sheep. Well, actually, we bought 40 sheep. That's about all we could afford. We also upgraded our fuel tank or milk tank, and we bought a semi to go with that upgrade. So we are sitting here pretty low on funds, but I think we're going to be good to go. So thought we'd get out here bright and early, really before the sun really came up. And this isn't necessarily ideal because the crop is still got a little bit of moisture in it. We'd rather probably wait until mid-morning to head out here. But with the threat of rain, we're going to need to get out here and get started as soon as possible. It's like Betty's getting unloaded right now with our gravity wagon. It's pretty good. I want to see if I can't jump in here and ride along with the harvester and just see what the yield looks like in our soybeans. Come in from behind the business end. Looks like we're pulling 102 bushels an acre. Not too terrible bad. Looks like we're going to have to fuel this harvester up before too terrible long. So I'm wondering if we might be able to get almost this whole field in the harvester before it needs unloading. Be pretty good. If you remember, we've got soybeans in field 9, 18, 19, 16, and 22. So once we get this field here cleared off, we're going to move the case harvester over to field 16. Then we're going to move the New Holland harvester to field 19. and field 22. See if we can't get those done in pretty short order. And of course, we've got our corn in fields 2, 10, and 12. We're going to have to obviously switch out our headers for the corn. So I want to go ahead while we've got these headers on and see if we can't finish our soybeans off. Put this header away and get the other one out. It's going to ride along this guy until he gets to the end. We'll jump in our truck and see about maybe emptying the harvester here. Then we might take the truck up to the other field and just check and see how they're doing. I think once we empty this guy, we'll be good to go for the rest of the field here. Our yield. See, the sun is starting to come up. Looking at the first part of winter there. Looks like we're going to have fairly warm temperatures. We're just moving straight on from autumn into winter. Not a lot of change in temperature there. And I did find out another really good way of really did find out another really awesome way of emptying the manure at the cow and the pig area, and that was making use of that conveyor belt that we bought for the compost early on. Bought that slow conveyor belt, used it initially, and then just set it there beside the compost master. It's been there for probably a good year, and just now realized that I might have had another good use of that, and that is to basically take the manure out of the cow area and the pig area, and it does that quite nicely. So that's going to save us a fair bit of time using the skid steer and front loader bucket scooping up poo. Oh, I missed my turn off there. But that's okay, because we're going to run up here and I'll show you the bin where we're going to put our corn. We already got the auger set up over at the bin for our soybeans. This bin right here we're going to use for our corn. Hop out and take a look here. Bin's going to hold 550,000 liters of corn. Now we don't have anything in it. Put this pole light here to provide us some good light in the event that we need to work out here in the dark. Alright. The sun's coming up here. Quite nice. Oh. Our soybean bin is right in front here. In front of us, we've already got the auger set up. There you can see our harvester working away. But we might as well put these beans in while we're at it. So let's just make sure they're going in there. They go. Sometimes happens. Bins. That should work now. I think the problem was somehow it picked up a little bit of manure. Somehow it picked up a little bit of manure there. And so we lost a little bit of soybeans. That's fine. We didn't have too many in there. It's best to figure that out before we go and dump a whole truck in there, obviously. Probably picked up some manure when we were bringing it over here from the pig area. We got all of that, all those bales picked up, and got that field fertilized in mid-autumn, so that was really nice. See if we can't ride along here. Filling up quite nicely. Alright. Take a ride along in this harvester and just see how the yield's going. It's, oh. Thought he was in traffic for some reason. Alright, let's see how this rides. See how the yield's doing over here. Not too bad, about the same yield as we were seeing over on the other field. Pretty good to see. I was worried the soil over on this side wouldn't be as good a quality as that over there. I do know we're going to see some reduced yield out of field 16. Because 16 does need plowing. So, should see some reduced yield likely out of that field. Looks like we're going to need some fuel for this tractor or this harvester also. While we're looking at this, see that We are now in a light pink state, running the harvester over the field. So we are lightly compacting the soil with our harvester, which you would expect because the harvester is rather heavy. We're able to get minimal compaction. Let's see how this does in yield. I don't know if the soil is compacted enough to reflect, or if we've got enough soil compacted to reflect a lower yield. But it looked like we were pretty solid here at 102 bushels per acre. But back there, where we just were diving into the field, we were fluctuating back a little bit to 90-some bushels an acre. May be attributed to the little bit of compaction that we've got on that side of the field. We'll have to kind of try to pay attention to that a little bit more, maybe. Let's see. Let's ride along one more time and see if we can't see that yield drop. We're pretty solid at 102 all the way across the field. But I think we, right there toward the end, we get to that little bit of pink. I think it drops off a little bit. There we are, 102, 103, 103.36 is what that number says. Pretty solid, not changing at all. Let's see if it drops off right before we get to the end. What I'm thinking is, so that we don't run into this situation next year, is I think we're not going to try to double crop all of our fields. I think we're going to dedicate a few fields to soybeans and a few fields to corn. Let's see here. 103. Now we've dropped down to 90. See, we've dropped down our yield to a little bit to the 90s when we got in that compacted area. We got in that compacted soil. It definitely reduced our yield a little bit. See that just like fertilization, the less compact the soil you can get, better your yield's going to be overall. Now, sometimes you just can't avoid compaction. See, we're at mid 90s, and then now we're up to 103. So you can't avoid compaction sometimes, but when at all possible, if you can minimize the level of compaction you've got with the compaction mod, then you can greaten your yield. And this is going to be definitely we're definitely over 3 harvests at this point, I think, on this field. If not, this is probably going to be the 3rd harvest, because I think we probably bought this field maybe last fall. Did a harvest. We did a spring harvest, and now we're doing a fall harvest. So it's definitely 3 harvests. So if we were running without the compaction mod, we would need to plow this field right now. But you can see we're not in a need plow state. We're just in a lightly compacted state. So what that means is that we're not really needing to plow anymore unless we want to. The only time we really need to plow is when we either have excessive compaction as a result of just being on the field when it is just way too damp, and we really have no business being out here on the field. We might run into that case with this harvest, depending on when the rains come. We might have a wet crop may go away, but the ground may still technically be too damp to get this heavy harvester and this truck out here on the field. So we may do some damage to the field, and we'll have to run the plow through it to try to erase, if you will, that damage. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Back over here and see how Dwayne is doing. Maybe finishing up his pass right now. Let's see. Yep, looks like he's finishing up his pass. Down here. If we can help him go ahead and hook up to his header. Just leave the header hooked up and we'll just hook up to his header trailer. Bring that along. Then we'll get him started on Big Field 16. See how much of this we can get done here today before the rain comes. If everything works out, then hopefully the rain will hold off until this evening. Hopefully the rain in the forecast for tomorrow is for early in the day. Hopefully Friday's rain is also early in the day. That would be ideal for me. If we get this rain over and done. Hold off right now. Then once it does start to rain, just go ahead and rain. Rain into tomorrow morning. Clear off. Then rain Friday morning. And then clear off, and that would give us our best chance of, I think, getting the corn in. I think if we work till I think if we work out here until the rain forces us out of the fields, we'll have our best chance of getting most of the soybeans in today. At this rate, by noon we can have the 4 smallest fields done. Then we can tag team field 16. That would be ideal. Of course, all plans are tossed out the window with the weather forecast. Go. Let's try not to get this thing stuck in the mud. I think we're gonna have to run and get our pickup truck, fuel trailer. See about refueling these things. Mud is risk of the mud is up here. north of field 12. But we should be okay as long as we run right here along the edge, field 13. I want to get pulled into the middle of the road at all. Start getting pulled over there, we are going to need to stop and back out as best we can. Could easily lose a couple hours of being just stuck in the mud. Up, like that. See. Come on now. That's it. Stuck in the mud. Let's back him up. See if we can't. This guy backed up a little bit. This is the danger part here. Let's just see. That was fairly well. That can be pretty dangerous. Even at 9%, this mud can just suck you in. Just might have to run on the field here. Don't want to run on the field, we just might have to. Keep from completely stuck in the mud. I think our other harvesters saying they're done, but I don't think they are. They're not done. I don't know why they're thinking they're done. There you can see the conveyor I was talking about. Set it up there and then it will scoop up the manure. It gets almost all of it in that position. The cow area takes a little bit more finagling, if you will, but it comes off well also. I have to get in from both sides and kind of squeeze in. Let's go figure out why this guy thinks he's done. Are you gonna go or not? Alright, let's go. Alright, let's turn this off. We're on. We'll just finish this field out ourselves then. You don't want to do anything? It's just fine and dandy. Oh, there we got rain on the forecast just popped up. So it looks like it might start raining sometime early afternoon. So really my goal is if we can get 18, 19, and 22 done and get 16, a fair chunk of it done here today. I think that will put us on a pretty good course to try to ink the corn out as best we can between rain showers. If the corn can dry out enough before then. I'm gonna cut this off here. Make it easier to turn around. You're wanting to come unload me, huh? Alright, well, we'll just ignore that you're driving over the crop. Okay, we'll just ignore that. Seems like, I guess we need to check the truck, see if the truck works to auto unload case harvester. Didn't want to work with the New Holland here. New Holland, I guess the pipe was just a little bit too short. I think that case has a longer pipe on it. Should be fairly good. That. Let's see if we can hire this guy off again. It's pretty straight. No. Doesn't want to do any work. Well. Alright guys, well, that's going to be the wrap for today. Thank you for coming out and watching. Please like the video if you did like the video. Let me know. Got any suggestions for Emerald Coast? Got a suggestions channel over at my Discord. Just go join over there and punch in your suggestion. Or just put a suggestion in the comments as to anything that you're looking to see us do in either winter or in year 3. We're gonna be in year 3 pretty darn quick. Winter is going to be reserved for a lot of field prep. We've got some fields that we bought recently that we need to plow up and get all treated and ready to go. And we've got some wheat, barley to plant. We're going to put some sunflowers in this year. but they don't go in until I think mid to late spring. Now that we own big old field 1, so we're going to have a fair bit of fields that we can dedicate, a couple to corn and a couple to sunflowers. And I don't see too much of a problem trying to rotate in soybeans behind our wheat. So we should be able to do that fairly well. So until next time, guys, happy farming.